Hey, it's George coming at you again and again. What actions are you taking today to create the future that you want, the future that you dream of so much? I ask that all the time because it is so important about the actions that you actually take today to create the future of your dreams. So with that being said, what are we going to look at today to be able to take action on? Well, I don't know if you've noticed, you've started hopping around the internet, and one of the biggest crazes lately, and one of the things that are getting the most views and the most attention by visitors to websites are infographics, of being able to transfer information from a blog or a post or an article and actually put it in a simple, digestible piece of infographic or picture that helps demonstrate all the key points of your blog. Because quite honestly, face it, we're getting an attention span of almost nil these days, between, being inundated with information and videos. I mean, I've seen it all the time. People won't even get to the end of a video, even if it's only a minute and a half long or 2 minutes long. It doesn't matter what's in the end of it. That your attention span's getting smaller and smaller. More or less, be able to read, a 12, 1,500, 2,000 word blog post. So it's important to try to find ways to condense that information, and infographics is the best way to do that these days. And what do I mean by infographics? Well, I'll show you a couple examples here. Let me share my screen real quick, and I'll show you one right now. Share my web page here. So what do I mean by infographics? Well, if you take a look here real quick, you'll see two infographics that I've done, and get my video out of the way. But here, the 5 wrong beliefs about blogging for your business. So what's an infographic? Well, what I did is I created a blog post, created a video, and you might have seen the video. And it has my key 5 points of what I've created a 1,200 word blog post about. But I wanted to also be able to provide a value so that those people that didn't want, couldn't read, didn't have time to read, didn't have, the attention to read the 1,200. And quite honestly, I wrote it. And I think it's nice to have an infographic too, because that way I can see whether or not I really want to read it. So, but here I could easily put in the 5 key topics of what it is I was blogging about. You can also look at another one over here of 5 reasons to create a blog for your business. And it simply has the 5 reasons right down the line so that you can see what it is my blog post is about. And then you can go to the one that intrigues you the most. You can skip right to that part of my blog post, but it's all right there. And you're like, well, that looks great, and how do you do that? Well, if you hadn't noticed, one of the websites I'm in is Canva, www.canva.com. And what you can do is anyone can go to this site, create a free profile. In fact, I'm not sure, you can upgrade and everything else, and they have really cheap graphics in here that you can buy certain graphics if you want, but they also have a huge amount of unlimited or free resources too. So what you do is you go to canva.com, set up your site real quick. And in fact, canva.com can be used for a lot of different things. If you notice here, I use it for creating my own pictures, where I use a lot of their free stock of pictures, and then I put my blog titles to them in my website. So it's another great use for this website. But the one we're going to focus on today is creating infographics. So if you scroll up here, you'll see, they can create a lot of different things, whether it's social media, presentations, posters, and so forth. What we're going to talk about is create a design. And then you can look here, and like I said, it has a lot of different uses. But we're going to scale right down to this one for infographic. And we're going to bring up the infographic real quick. And it starts to give you some examples of different infographics that you can use. Now, some of these might look a little familiar, because if you notice, the one that I had about the 5 misbeliefs of blogging looks a lot like this bike safety here. And the one about, the reasons you should be blogging for your business, well, the top 5 reasons, well, it looks a lot like this one here, doesn't it? Well, and that's because what I did was I actually just used those and then modified it to have mine. So let me take a look here. What I'll do is I'll start on this bike safety, and you just click and simply drag it over into the window. And that puts it into its little editor. So then what I did was I took the information from my site, and you just simply click here it brings up the design, and you can just say here the top 5 I can't type, misbeliefs about blogging for your business. Now, I don't know about you, but that doesn't look too good, right? So basically just select it, and then you can go up here to its little editor, and you can change different fonts and everything. You can change the size, and you just select the size you want, and boom, right there. It shrinks it all down so it's nice and neat. And you know what? I just click over here. You know what? I don't have a purpose for this right here, so you just click on it, go over, hit the trash can, get rid of it. Then you can click here and type in what you want. And then, you know what, this bike helmet really doesn't go with what I'm talking about, right? Blog sites, bike helmet. Well, maybe you're blogging about biking. That's your passion, blog about it. So I'll get rid of that. And then I can go over here to elements. And there's a lot of different elements that you can use. And I'm going to just search for, let's say, icons here. And I want to use something to go along. Oop, click on icons. And then I'm going to search around, and you know what? There's a computer screen. I want to use that. So you click on that, you drag it over here, and oh my goodness, it's huge. It's never going to fit. Well, that's simple. You just click, drag, shrink it down to the size you want, move it to wherever you want, and notice how it gives all these dotted lines, so that helps you try to determine where it is that you want the stuff, and you can move the things around to fit in the area you want. But you know what? I don't want yellow, do I? No, everything's red on this. Why would I want yellow? Maybe I want it to really stand out, but for me, I want to follow it. So you hit on the color, boom, click it, red. Excuse me. So there you go. So I can use, you know, all these different resources. I can simply click on it, drag it around, put it where I want. The little dotted lines help me line things up where it needs to be. And then when I'm done, I simply hit the download button in the top right corner. And you may be able to see some of it with my video screen. I apologize, but you click the download button, and you can download it to your image or JPEG, which is probably the best for, especially if you're putting it on websites and everything. You can even print it as a PDF, a standard PDF, so that maybe you share it. You know, and you can share it as a PDF and use it as a resource. So I'm not going to download it right now just because I've already downloaded it, and I didn't finish this one. But you get the idea, is you can use this for so many different things. But infographics, like I said, quick, easy way to demonstrate the purpose of your blog post, be able to focus the key topics. And what I did was, is like I said, the top 5 things. So I took the top 5 headings of my blog post, created an infographic, slapped it on the infographic, made it nice, clear, concise, and that way the visitors to my website can easily just go down, use it for a frame of reference. They can go down and figure out which part of the blog post they might want to read the most. And also, I mean, most of us are very visual in remembering things. So yes, I can read it, but then if I associate it with that picture and that graphic, it tends to stick in my mind a lot longer, as well as it will for your visitors. So again, make sure you use an infographics with a lot of your blog posts, so that you're able to demonstrate to people what it is you're trying to get across, especially those that aren't going to take the time to literally read down through your blog post to get the valuable content that you're creating for them, but they're just not willing to take the time to look at it without you being able to show them exactly where it is they might have interest. So again, what's the actions today? Because remember, the actions today is what creates the future you're dreaming of. So today what we're going to do is we're going to create infographics. In fact, share down below, comment down below with what you're going to create an infographic about today. What are you going to create that infographic about your blog post, about your passion, about how you're going to share it? Comment down below. And if you're still out there searching for some opportunities, and you're interested in the system that I use to create those opportunities, click the link in the description below or comment me for more information. But I am very interested to see what it is that you're going to do today, what action steps you're going to do today. And I want to see those infographics you're creating today, so definitely share them.